Welcome to the August 2021 Campeau Bus Lines Kitchener startup meeting. This video will be posted on the YouTube channel, as you probably already know if you're watching it. I will post Linda's later today, hopefully, if not Monday. So Lee actually will have a video as well this year. I will send everybody an email with the link to both videos and this video as well. They're free to watch. Anybody, your family, friends want to watch them, send them the link. Looking to make everybody a safer driver, better drivers, anything we can do to prevent injuries. Hope everybody had a good summer. I have been in contact with a few drivers, text, emails, sending me pictures, catching fish. It seems to be a good summer for wives catching fish this year. I know my wife outfished me again. It wasn't even close. Guy's wife again caught some nice fish as well, big catfish. Yes, I like fishing. Anyways, did a bunch this summer. If you're coming into the office, if you already watched this video, ask me about the 280-pound whitefish I caught. Yeah, anyways, there's a story behind that. I hope everybody had a good summer. I know a couple of people had surgery over the summer, and they are feeling a little better. Hopefully they're back in full strength by September. Roots will be out next week, hopefully by Friday. They should be ready for the meetings that we're having here at the office starting the 23rd. If you haven't booked your meeting with Lee yet, please do so right away. Monday, Tuesday, pretty much full. The rest of the week has a few openings. Get your schedule in right away, kind of thing. We are offering rides to and from. So from your house to the office, and then from the office there to get your van, so you can pick it up right away. We'll have the keys and everything else here, route copies, your startup binders, all your information for that as well. We do ask you that you do the WMIS and the AODA before you pick up your route copies. Get that back to Linda as soon as you can. She's looking for that as well. Have a few things to look after today. Got some housekeeping things, some new issues. And of course, the ever-present speeding, we'll be talking about that a little later as well. Again, so stand by and be patient. So the first order of housekeeping is must be met. All right, so let's start that right from day one. Let's not go to the dark side, even if they have cookies. Right from day one, as soon as we start it, and if we keep it going the entire year, that'll make everybody much happier. If it says must be met on your route sheets, there must be a reason. At one point, maybe the student took off, maybe they crossed the road, ran away from home, who knows. And just because, they've never done it for me, doesn't mean they never will. So you're responsible for the students from the time they get out of the van till the time they actually meet a parent or get in the front door of the house or the school. Again, yes, that applies to schools. So parents and teachers must come to the van. If it says must be met, they must come and get the student from the van. Not stand at the door and wave, hi, send them on, I'm here. No, they got to come to the van. And as the one day you don't let them come to the van and let them stand on the porch, is the day they'll never ever come back to the van again. As soon as you do it once, that's set for life. So right from day one, September 7th is the first day of school. Must be met means must be met. Again, if it's on their detail sheets as must be met, there must be a reason. And you never know what they're going to do. They come out of the van, and Mrs. Wilson across the street has a new puppy. Ooh, they run across the street and get hit by a garbage truck. Or maybe something happened in the morning. Mom said, you just wait till your father gets home. Remember that old TV show? Maybe some of you younger drivers don't remember it, but, again. So he's sitting there, he's dreading going home the whole time, and I'm not going home. Forget that. Dad's going to be there, and I'm going to get, in big trouble for whatever he did. Gets out of the van, runs down the street, gone. Are you going to chase him? Again, if you got other students in the car, you can't chase them, but it is your responsibility. So, again, must be met means come to the van and meet the student. Next order of business for housekeeping is touching. As we all know, no touching ever. No touching means zero. Never, ever, no, nada, not once. No high fives, no hugs, no knuckles, no nothing. I know through the summer you've missed a lot of the students. A lot of students have missed you because they are special needs. They are high in emotion some days. Maybe you're their favorite van driver. Oh, welcome back, and they want to give you a big hug. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Oh, hey, thanks, Billy. I really can't do that. Mom or whoever, Dad. Maybe let them know that they're not supposed to be. That's kind of not really appropriate. You don't know who's watching. You don't know what they're seeing. If they're across the street, if they're not really paying attention, and they see you giving a kid a big hug or whatever, you don't know what they're actually thinking, and they don't know what they're going to do, and they don't know who they're going to call. It's easier if we just don't. Period. Right from the start. Again, September 7th, first day of school. If we just don't touch, again, everybody wants to see their favorite van driver. It's been all summer. It's been 2 whole months since we've seen anybody. They want to, big hug, big kisses, big, high fives, whatever. Just please don't. Again, it could cost you your job in the end. Again, you don't know who's watching and what they think they're seeing. It might not be what they're seeing, but again, then it's up to us to prove that nothing happened. All right. So again, no touching. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is red books. Everybody's got one in the van. We've made sure they're all in there. And actually, this year they could actually be a white book, red, white. They ran out of red paper, I guess. Who knows? So again, it could either be a red one or a white one. In the red book, there is a white copy, a yellow copy, and a pink copy. Okay. So what you do is you fill out the form, put in all the details as much as you can, hand it to the teacher, principal. You might have to take it into the office either that day or the next day, but write it up as soon as you can. All 3 copies go to the school. They're signed by the principal, vice principal, teacher, head of the department, whoever signs them. And they give you back the yellow copy and the pink copy, and you bring those to the office as soon as you can. And we send a copy off to the school board. They're not meant to punish the students. It may look like that. The student acts up, takes the seatbelt off, throws a hissy fit, bad language, whatever they need to do in the van. Write them up. It's more for keeping track. I know some schools will give you a hard time. Why are you writing up Billy again? This is the 5th time this week. Well, again, it's more for us to keep track. The school board understands. We understand. Some schools maybe need to be educated a little bit. Again, for us, it's not necessarily to punish the student. When they get write-ups from other school companies on full-size buses for normal students, it is, again, the student was smoking on the bus. The student was doing something really, really bad, and the driver wanted to write him up. Like I said, for us, it's more to keep track of what's going on. Billy took a seatbelt off. Billy took a seatbelt off again today. After the 3rd time, maybe Billy needs to be put in a harness, or maybe Billy needs a seatbelt cover, or Billy was doing something. He was bad language. Again, maybe something needs to be educated. Again, working with the teachers, so that way, if we have a note of it, the school board has a note of it, and the teacher has a note of it, we can probably get something done faster than if all of a sudden in October. November, you come to me, he's been doing it since September. It's like, well, right away. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. If we start on September 7th and continue on the entire year, it'll make everything a lot easier down the line. So again, write them up. Not necessarily a bad thing, again, just to keep track of this, and so we have something on file to keep a record. Next item I want to talk about is complex approved. Most people have some of the same students as last year. Some routes are totally different. A lot of the students that weren't on last year are back this year again, so we're supposedly going to have full classrooms, full attendance again. So some of the students maybe haven't seen for a couple of years are back again. So complex approved. On your route detail sheets in the address, it'll either tell you, yes, it's complex approved, or it'll give you a unit number. If it gives you a unit number, that means it's okay to go into the complex, usually a townhouse complex. Apartment buildings, obviously, you can't drive them to their apartment, but you can at least get them to the front of the building, which is okay. Otherwise, we drop them off on the road. Do not go into the complex. Some places, some complexes, if you go in, you have to turn around, back up, and come back out again. We don't want you to back up. Backing up causes major problems. Most of the accidents, 90% of them or over, are caused when the vehicles are backing up. It's not as easy to see what's behind you. Yes, the vans are equipped with rear view cameras, but again, if you rely on that, everything's kind of limited. You can't see things coming behind you. In some instances, we had two students. One was on Cherry Street, and one was in Cambridge on Sparrow Ave. You guys drivers should remember who they are. The one student on Cherry Street was blind, lived at the third set of complexes at the back of the units. Again, so because she was a blind student, we ended up actually having to take her in, dropping her off in front of her house, and then backing up and coming back out again. You heard the drivers on the radio every day asking for permission. Yes, it's a big deal, but if you actually stop, think, and then wait a minute, I got to ask for permissions, you're going to make that extra look, or 2 or 3 or 5, and actually do a safe backup. The other one, again, was on Sparrow Ave in Cambridge, a dead-end street, and the kid was like the 4th house down, I think, or on the left-hand side or something. So again, you have to pull down, and in the summertime, sometimes you can turn around, but most of the time you're having to back up. Again, you hear that driver as well, asking for permission to back up in the morning. So there are a few of them, and they can be pre-approved. Again, you still have to get on the radio and let us know you're backing up and ask for permission. Again, it gives you that extra second or two to actually stop and think, rather than just throwing it in, from drive or into reverse and backing up without looking. If you have to actually stop and think, again, it gives you that extra second or two to see what's going on. All right, thank you. Pickups and drop-offs. We had a few drivers last year that picked up on the driver's side. Mom thought it was easier to get the student in a car seat. Teachers at schools even, again, that was easier to get the student in, buckle them up, whatever. Please don't. Passenger side only, curbside, next to the road, pull up in the front of the house at the driveway, wherever is convenient for the person to get into the van. And again, passenger side only. What happens with the driver's side, as soon as you go to close the door, you take a step back. If you're in a school zone, everybody remembers where the mirrors on a 72 passenger bus, just about head height. So you take that step back when you're closing the door, and you step back, and then the next bus comes by with a mirror and smacks you in the back of the head. Don't want that. If you're on the road and you're on the driver's side, that's the traffic side. Again, as soon as you close the door, you take a step back. If you're stepping back into traffic, most parents aren't going to, oh, there's a car coming. Oh, there's a garbage truck coming. It's not to pick on garbage trucks, but again, this seems to be our favorite topic lately. Again, so passenger side only, please. Tell the teachers if they have any issues, tell them to contact the office. We'll talk to them about it. Tell them, again, we prefer not to. Some instances, again, I don't know what they were or what they would be, have to load from the driver's side. But again, I haven't heard any this year, but we try again. Always load from the passenger side. Much safer. Keep everybody out of the traffic. All right, next item is don't rush. I say this all the time. I'm telling people, right from day one, if you're behind, stay behind. Don't try and make up time. When you make up time, bad things happen. Oh, I can cut through the parking lot, or I can make that yellow light. It's like, no, don't try. If you're late, stay behind. Don't try and make up. Okay. If it's a regular thing, we'll have to look at the route and get the route changed. Maybe we'll change the times, start times, pickup times. Maybe take a stop off. Whatever we need to do to get your route back on time again. But if you're late, stay late. We ask you again not to make up time. One thing too, if you get more than 10 minutes late, let the office know. So, and we need to know for each school. So each school is set up in the system as an individual run. So if you have Jacob Hespeler first, you have Centennial, and then you have Grandview third. So each school we need to know for if you're more than 10 minutes late. When we post you for the Jacob Hespeler, then we post you for Centennial, and then we post you for Grandview. And they have to be individually done. They can't just do one all at once, because again, maybe you're late for Jacob Hespeler, maybe the one student isn't on for Centennial, and you can make up that 10-minute time. Okay? Again, so we need to know for all 3 schools, or 4 schools, or 2 schools, or whatever you have for the schools. Again, so if you're behind, stay behind. Don't try to make up the time. It's still construction season. There's going to be closures. There's going to be messes. There's going to be, in the morning you pick somebody up and the road is open. You come back in the afternoon and it's totally closed. You got to go around 3 blocks or 4 blocks, or maybe get on the 401 and head to golf and come back. You know what I mean? But let us know. Okay. All right, next topic, STSWR cards. In your startup binders, in your packages, everybody's given some student transportation cards. They're only to be used as a last resort. What student transportation wants is for you, the driver, to on the first level, let's call it, talk to the parents, start trying to figure out what's going on. If they say, "Oh, can my kid sit in the middle seat instead of the back seat? Or can my kid sit on the right side instead of the left side?" That's not a student transportation issue. That's a driver issue. Okay, that easy to fix. Either yes or no. If the parent doesn't agree, tell them to call the office here, and we'll see what we can do to make everything better for them. Only thing for student transportation that they need to be contacted for is if they're looking to move the stop. Hey, I'm moving next week. I'm moving across town to the other side of Cambridge, or I'm moving to Waterloo from Elmira, or then give them a student transportation card. If they're looking at the times, and hey, listen, I have to be at work for 8 o'clock. I can't do an 8:05 pickup. Again, that's nothing that we can change. We can't change the stop address or the stop times. So then by all means, give them a student transportation card. Hey, listen, you have to call here, and they can change the time for you, or they can change the address, or they can, or if you're not going to be riding, with COVID coming up, who knows, and say, hey, listen, today's the last day Billy's going to be on the bus. We're not comfortable sending him to school. We're taking him off of transportation. Give him a card. Tell him to call the student transportation. They'll be more than happy to help him out. Any little things, try and look after that yourself. Again, if you're not comfortable doing it, call the office and tell the parents, teachers, whoever to call the office, and we can look after things as well. Again, only as a last resort, give them a student transportation card. Tell them to call student transportation. All right, continuing on, tax forms. Yeah, nobody wants to think about taxes. Two of the bad words in the dictionary. If you had $20 taken off your pay last year, you don't have to do anything this year unless you want to change that. So if you had $20 taken off last year, it'll be continued to take off this year. If you want to increase that, decrease that, change that at all, you need to fill out another form. Otherwise, it'll ride over to this year and continue on exactly what you had last year. So there's no need to do a new form. Next item would be car washes and gas. I think I've asked you in a previous video before as well. When you're filling up with gas, if you can wait till the afternoon, especially when the gas prices jump around here in town, if you wait till the afternoon when the gas is cheaper to fill up, before your afternoon run, after your afternoon run, be much appreciated. Again, it saves the company a bit of money. Price is always more expensive first thing in the morning. Also, too, when you're getting a car wash, try and limit them to 2 a month. If it's cold weather, maybe -20 for a week or 2 weeks, don't bother even getting it washed. The doors will freeze shut and everything won't work properly. And you get a regular car wash. Don't get the super premium car wash with all the blue foam and the green foam, and just get a regular car wash. They don't need to be anything better than that. The vans are pretty good. They're all clear coated and they're from the factory from Chrysler. They don't need the super premium wash unless, again, some people park under trees and have offerings from the birds. Maybe might have to get a little better car wash, just maybe take it to a pressure wash station and get them to wash the bird droppings off. Anyways, all right. So everybody's favorite topic, speeding. As everybody may or may not know, 2 years ago we have a new GPS company that looks after all the GPS in the vans, looks after the speeding, looks after all the plotting and the routes and everything else as well. They've been working diligently to update the speeding, and I believe this year they might have it actually fixed. In the past, there's been issues with off-ramps, on-ramps, overpasses, picking up the speed limit from the road below. They've made things a lot more accurate. They, again, should have it updated. Should be working a lot better this year than last year. There was a few instances last year. We had one driver had 12 speeding events on a road that they weren't even doing the speed limit. So again, those issues should be fixed. We should be tracking it a lot more this year. We do follow up with the drivers. I try and let everybody know, hey, you were speeding on the expressway. You're doing 110 in a 90, or you were doing 105 in a 90. I'm not sure what the limits are going to be this year. As of right now, they're set at 1 over. Yep, that's right, 1 over, not 10% like they were in the past. I'm not sure if they're going to fix that, but right now that's where they are. So be extra careful when you're speeding. The board sees this. You don't want to be on Benoit's list. I used to get a list every Tuesday. The top 5, top 10 drivers, people we have to watch for. So how it works, you get, it's updated every 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, you get one incident. After 30 seconds, so that's 3 incidents, you get an event. So events actually are much worse than incidents. We don't like you to get either, but an incident is only 10 seconds. Anybody can speed, can lose track for 10 seconds. But an event is actually 30 seconds. So losing track for 30 seconds is a bigger deal. If you're losing track for 30 seconds, it means you're not paying attention. Something else is going on, right? 10 seconds is, okay, yeah, I screwed up. I was down a hill. It took me a minute to catch, a second to catch up. But 30 seconds, that's a continuous, action. That's not paying attention, okay? So let's cut down on the incidents and events this year. Again, I said I'll try and tell everybody where they're speeding. It might be something, maybe there's a speed limit change, maybe there's a wrong speed limit in the system. We'll try and get those fixed as well. But for now, again, just kind of watch your speed. All right, something brand new for this year, again, in the relation of speeding. There will be 16 schools in the Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge region that have red light cameras. Only about speeding cameras, red light cameras, the same thing, mounted on poles outside the school. 2 years ago, I think the region went around a lot of the schools and reduced the speed limits from either 50 to 40 or from 40 to 30 in some cases as well. So 16 schools in the area, and yeah, I have a list where they are. I'm not necessarily going to tell everybody because you guys are all really, really good. You won't be speeding anyways, right? So they'll take a picture. You won't even know they're there. Going through, again, I don't know what the tolerance is set at. I'm going to guess it's less than what the board has their tolerance set at for speeding. School zones, again, the municipalities are taking it very serious. It's not just for us, it's for parents, trucks, buses, vans, anybody that's going through these red lights. They do work. They tested one in Toronto the end of last year, the end of June. One lady wasn't really happy in Toronto, and there was a camera put up around her home. She went through 5 times giving the camera the bird. Everybody knows what that means. She wasn't speeding, but she didn't get 5 tickets for not wearing her seatbelt. So yes, they do work, and they do watch for other things, not just for speeding as well. All right. And if you get a ticket, you are responsible, not Campeau. You are responsible for paying the ticket immediately. I don't know what the fines are going to be. Again, speeding in a school zone, I'm sure it's a little more than $20. I'm guessing probably more like 75 or 80. Again, don't want to get too many of those. They add up quick. And we will find out because the vans are registered to Campeau, and all the tickets from the MTO go to the Campeau head office, and then they come to me. So again, we will find out. We know who's going to do it. There's no way to hide it. Again, so something else to watch out for this year is if there wasn't enough, so to watch out for the cameras. So that should be it for my presentation today. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I try and make it as fun as possible. As fun as it can be, I guess. I'll post Linda's up later this afternoon. Hopefully Lee's as well. Have a good weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoys the nice weather while it lasts. Yes, I know that SNOW word is going to be coming sooner than we expect again. So do and get out and enjoy the weather as much as you can. If you haven't booked your appointment with us for the week of the 23rd, please do so as soon as you can. Let Lee know right away. Also get your AODA and your women's back into Linda. She's waiting for that as well. So again, have a good weekend. Get out and enjoy the sunshine while you can, and have a good day.